The Golden State Warriors have officially signed Al Horford. Now, fellas, does this mean that the dynasty is back in effect?
No.
Does this mean that the Warriors now have championship hopes? Does this mean that Al Horford will potentially get his second ring? Jimmy Butler his first? Steph Curry his fifth? What does this mean, fellas? First off, how do you feel about this signing? Is this a match?
We live in a space where this is a young man's league. That's what the NBA is today. What's up, fellas? Mars Blackman in the house, Swipe in the house. We live in a space where this is a young man's league, and I think that it's been like that for quite some time now. I did something a couple of I think maybe 2 years ago, Mars, and I think of the 450 players, I think less than 2/3 of them, maybe even more than that, are under 30 years old. So with that being said, so I got Al Horford, who's turning 40 this year. Curry will be 38 in March. Jimmy Butler is 36. I think Draymond turns 36. I think this is an older team. I think this is a vet team, but the question is can they hold up? The reason why Steph Curry didn't hold up, it wasn't because he's injury prone. It's because he's getting older. That's what it is more than anything. I think that this team, offensively, they needed Jimmy Butler. And I think that this season was the year that they want to see what this crew looks like with Jimmy Butler the whole year. But what we're completely missing is the fact that, these guys got a lot of miles on them. And to go deep into the playoffs, to win the NBA championship, I think it's incredible to try to do that with a team this old. And they still haven't figured out what exactly the Jonathan Kuminga saga is. They're not sure what exactly they're going to do with him. He's not sure what he's going to do, even though they 100% need that youth. No doubt they do. So with that being said, I don't think that this does anything. I said this before the season started, and I'm still standing on it. If they do it, I will be surprised. I don't have the Warriors making playoffs this year.
Making the playoffs, chill.
I got them missing the playoffs this year. Yes, I do.
So you got them worse than the Blazers.
Yes, I do. Yes, Mars.
Oh
I
yeah,
got them worse
we
than the
made
Blazers.
we made that bet, and I'm gonna take that 100 off you, and then we can make another bet when the Warriors make the playoffs, how far they'll go. But Mars Swiper, I know you guys are invested in the Western Conference. How do you feel about the Warriors as threats in the Western Conference
Threats for what?
to make the playoffs
Oh,
and to make noise in the playoffs?
define noise.
Making a series competitive, not just making a series competitive, like what they did last year with the number 2 seed. Can they get by a higher seed again? Like, let's say for the sake of argument, the Warriors get into the playoffs, they're a 7, or let's say they're a 7 or an 8 seed, and they end up running into like Denver or Oklahoma City in round 1. Can they beat those guys? Wow.
Well, no, not Denver and OKC, no. But like everyone else, yeah, they got action. Doesn't mean I'd favor them, but they got a shot. I just think the Warriors, the issue I have with the Warriors is size and depth. Those are my issues. But this is a team that post Jimmy, they were good.
Elite.
Yeah, elite. Their record with Jimmy when he played is 23-7 in the regular season. Have to just look out. Really good team. Do I have concerns about them being able to get through the regular season based on their age? Absolutely. So I do expect them to be a 6, 7, 8, 9 seed in and around there. The only concern is when you're an old team, do you want to have to play your way into the playoffs through the play-in? Probably not. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors go for the 6 seed to down the stretch of the season. I think that's probably where they'll be. And then I think they'll bet on themselves against a Timberwolves, a Houston. Denver and OKC, that's probably a stretch. I don't think they'd beat either one of those teams in a series. But I think they'd favor themselves. They would favor themselves against anyone else, whether that be the Clippers, the Timberwolves, Houston. Who else is in that? The Mavericks,
The Lakers.
Anyone, the Lakers. I think they'd favor themselves in any of those matchups. I think Steph is still one of the 10 best players on the planet. I think Jimmy probably still in the top 25 range. Draymond is still top 10 defender on the planet. Steve Kerr obviously has done what he's done as a head coach. They've only lost one time in the playoffs in the West, I think, or twice since Steve Kerr's been there twice, 2023 last year. So yeah, I think they're good. They're not championship contender good, but they're like tier 2.5
Like
in
they
my
can,
opinion.
you can see them in a dogfight in the semifinals series, in a 6-7 game dogfight. And the reason why I'm asking you this, Miles, because I know how you feel about the Golden State Warriors, particularly in the play-in tournament. I know how you feel about them. So with them, and that's why I say how I feel about like teams like the Blazers, like the Spurs, teams like that.
They
Because in
did
one
just
game,
beat the Grizzlies in the play-in, to be fair. So
they
they
did.
overcame.
Yes, they did for that one time. No doubt about that. But again, we're a year older. To your point about their size, I'm not as concerned as you are about their size, because they never were. Even when they were winning championships, they weren't a big team. And with them not being a big team, I think they play. I mean, their style of play has always been conducive to winning. The problem is the way they play is conducive to Curry, and he's got so many miles on him, and that running around, that playing off the ball, that action, that kind of stuff can be what breaks him down more than anything. I think that's what tripped him up when they played against Minnesota. I mean, he ran out of gas and he ended up getting hurt. And I'm thinking that throughout the course of the season, I feel like Steve Kerr is going to do everything that he can to manage them as much as he can. But I mean, you can't manage age. I mean, when you owe, and there ain't really nothing that you can do about it. I don't think that I don't think there's much that you can do about it.
Yo, Swiper, and what's good, Ox? But yo, Swiper, I know you about to jump off in a second. Would you like to talk about the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not jumping off.
No, you're literally about to jump off.
Yeah, it's live. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Warriors are going to be good. I think that I have them currently as like the 6th seed in the Western Conference. I think right behind the Lakers and Wolves. I think that they're still going to be. I mean, when they're healthy, they're going to be one of the 5 best teams in the sport, arguably. Just because like Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Al Horford, Pods, Moses Moody. They bring out DeAnthony Melton. I mean, they're going to be really good. They're going to be a really strong defensive team. I saw my Lakers fans who are friends of mine, by the way. Like, Raj, shout out, great basketball content creator. He was talking about like Luka, Braun, and Austin calling up Al on ball screens and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, well, Al's actually particularly good at those things, especially like for a center. And when you're also flanking him with Jimmy Butler and Draymond, and then Moses is still a very long defender. And then even with the, Jonathan Kuminga, we'll see what happens. They still have athletes behind him. Like, I still think they're going to be a very formidable defense versus a lot of these ISO-heavy teams, switch-heavy teams that are depending on switches in order to create offensive action. So, yeah, it's really I think they're going to be good. Like, I think they're going to be a lot better than people realize.
Question, Swiper, the expectation for Steph Curry this season in particular, because Mars, you just made an interesting point that he's still one of the 10 best players in the world, which I'm not going to argue that point. What's the expectation for Steph Curry this season, going into the 25-26 season? What's the expectation on Steph Curry?
I mean, get to the playoffs healthy and stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
We expect
that's an expectation.
Okay, I understand.
And by the way, Mars, last year when Steph had Jimmy Butler, so when you gave him another offensive option that didn't take up all the, where he wasn't getting triple teamed and everything every play, 27 games, he was 27-5-4. And then over that stretch, he shot 47, 41, 92 splits.
We actually had that conversation with dude Austin. He came up here and talked about how much better Steph Curry was with a viable options. But again, the expectation for Steph Curry coming into the season, because the reason why I'm asking you this question, because I think people still look at Steph Curry like Steph Curry from 2019, from 2022, because he's still a top 10 player. I think they still look at him like that when he's obviously, I don't think that he's fallen off, but I mean, he's not the same as he was back then. And I do think his game has aged. I think his game has aged really well. I'm not going to argue that point. However, I think that people still look at Steph Curry like they did years ago. And I don't think that he's that anymore.
But I just want to ask you guys, though. And that's the point I'm about to make, Ox. I just want to ask you guys, in terms of talent around Steph Curry, top end talent too. Now, we might not define Al Horford as top end talent. But in terms of top end talent, where would you rank this roster?
Well, round 4.
Last year was the best team they ever had. So I don't know.
Who?
The deepest team they ever had. But I mean, though, round like Yeah,
And they're bringing everybody back but cum buckets.
No, but wait a second. That's
Kuminga
so.
is
I
coming back.
want to get into that. I want to know.
I mean,
exactly
maybe
what happened
we
with
don't
that.
know. We don't know.
Okay, so then I won't ask that question. But I will say that for Al Horford's role, I think he's still top tier talent as long as his role isn't going to be expanded. You know what I'm saying? For him to, I don't think he can still play super heavy minutes, but he can still add a lot. So I think he can still be top tier talent for his role. You know what I'm saying? Because like Swiper said, we still see Al Horford switch on to elite guards and move his feet. I'm not saying he's clamping, locking elite guards, but he's still able to turn, contest. That's all I can ask for, especially for an old fella, right? But chill. No, he might not be 2019. He's still the most dangerous man walking.
That part I'm not going to argue.
Still to this day, Steph Curry is still the most dangerous man walking. Especially if his teammates are holding up their end of the bargain. If his teammates are holding up their end of the bargain, Steph Curry is still the most dangerous man walking. You have to account for Steph Curry.
Sacramento.
Every single time. For Sacramento, for San Antonio, for Cleveland,
playing teams. I agree.
Ox, don't fall for that bait. I just want to ask you and expand.
I know it's supposed to be bait. I'm just kind of just.
But I want to expand on what you were saying though, because you said Steph Curry's still the most dangerous man as long as his teammates are competent in their roles.
Yeah.
Is Al Horford going to be competent in his role?
Of course.
When has he not been?
Al Horford.
So how now I want to ask, how much better does Al Horford make Steph Curry and Draymond?
Mars, I know who he will be better than. Brooke Lopez.
See, Swipe is trying to derail the conversation because this is a threat to the Denver Nuggets. I want to ask you guys.
Please don't bring the Denver Nuggets, Ron. Please don't do that. Swiper, why are you being nasty?
No, because Ron was being nasty
do
about
not
Al Horford
fall
last
for
year.
the bait. Ox, do not fall for the bait.
I'm about to drop you.
Did y'all even play yesterday, Swiper?
I feel no.
Chill. You know what's wrong with Swiper?
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Swiper just realized. Swiper realized what I realized 2 seasons ago, and what everybody been knew, but been scared to say because of social climates. You can't say these type of things, right?
Which is
calling Lamar Jackson James Harden is disrespectful to James Harden. What? Chill. He's a bum.
No,
he's a bum.
This is not true. Oh my goodness.
So who's being nasty?
This is disgusting, Swiper.
I was a fan of Lamar Jackson for so long.
I don't know.
Ox fell for Swiper's bait, and now
there is no bait.
Now here we are.
I think Al Horford's going to be very good in his role with the Warriors
and
next
Lamar
year.
Jackson's a bum.
All right, y'all. To bring it back.
That's why he's being nasty today, chill.
To bring it back,
we're having a good conversation. He over here talking about the playing teams. Oh, he's better than Brooke Lopez. What's wrong with you, Swiper?
Well,
Big guys, I want to ask you that.
Okay, I'm back on track.
I want to ask you yet again. How much better? And Chill and Mars, I want to hear from you too. How much better does Al Horford make Steph Curry and Draymond?
Not just Draymond. Yes, okay, Draymond and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, Draymond, and Al Horford together. I think the IQ on the defensive end just rose again. You got to remember when Jimmy Butler got over there with Draymond Green, the IQ on the defensive end went up. Now you get Al Horford, another guy that has major switchability, and he knows where to be. He's strong. He will protect the rim. He can do everything. IQ just went up some more. So now Steph don't got so much to worry about on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, you can count on Al Horford to make the extra pass, knock down the corner jump shot, set good screens. I mean, I think Al Horford, if he's just as good as he was last year, which isn't as good as he was the year before when they won a championship, I think he's still very good. I think Al Horford and Quentin Post can play together. Al Horford and Draymond Green can play together.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I'm really digging this addition. I didn't want Al Horford to go to the Warriors. In fact, before y'all got J-Val, I was like, man, if Al Horford go over to the Denver, it's gonna be some problems.
Yeah, I wanted him too. He's a really good player.
Right.
Well, Ox, I could get with your logic if Al Horford was on a team that had the offensive weapons and the defensive weapons that he had when he was in Boston. He doesn't. That's the problem that we're having. So as good as Al Horford is defensively, I think you still look at Al Horford. I think you still look at Al Horford, but like people look at Steph Curry, as good as he used to be. And I think a lot of that was masked last year with him being in Boston, being on the crew that he was on with the defenders, with the offensive players, with the action that they had. This team, with the exception of Jimmy Butler, is very limited offensively outside of Curry. They don't really have a lot, which means you and me had this conversation not too long ago where being on a team with Curry, Al Horford may have to do a little bit more. And with him having to do a little bit more and him not coming up as big as people would like him to be, the blame is going to go on him. Well, Al couldn't do this. Al couldn't do that. Let's completely forget that Al Horford is going on 40 years old. And that stuff that he used to be able to do, he can't do it like
he did it last year, Chill.
Yeah, on a much better team.
No.
Much better team.
I would argue a much better this team with the Warriors is a better defensive team than that Celtics team. And I don't think that's much of a stretch either. I think with the regression that Derek White took last year, not actual regression.
Sure.
Years you can fluctuate defensively.
You can take a step back. Sure, right. I can get with that.
And then he can be even better this year. I think if you look at this roster, and especially given, I think Draymond Green is the centerpiece. Al Horford, this is the best defender he's ever played with. I would argue if you go through his history.
The best defender Al Horford's played with?
Yeah, I think so. I think Draymond's the best. Yeah, I think Draymond's the best. And then I think if you look at what Jimmy Butler is, I think we know Jimmy Butler to this day is in conversation for best or one of the best off-ball wing defenders in the sport. Mm-hmm. And then if you put him with, I think Moses Moody and Pods, again, like for the name recognition standpoint, they're not like upper tier defenders, but from a scheme standpoint, Pods is 6'4", Moody is 6'7", super athletic. And then you add in Jonathan Kuminga, Steph Curry, and a very intelligent defender. And he's also not a small person. Like, he's 6'3". He's a big dude. So, like, he can still do his job. I think if you put Al Horford in a situation, Chill, think about it. You're closing the game, and you got Al Horford, Draymond, Jimmy, Melton, and Steph.
Wait. Swipe it.
Go ahead.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm not the highest on this guy. And I know, Mars, you have some reservations about him. But, I mean, Buddy can still shoot the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy, and also too, Buddy did show.
If Buddy's made 6 threes, he's gonna be closing games for sure.
But to be fair, Mars, in the playoffs in the first round,
I saw Game 7.
Buddy was strapping. Mm-hmm. So
Jalen Green
I know. I'm just saying, if he puts effort forth, to your point,
don't leave that out. That's
I do think Al Horford makes that big of a difference. Where versus again teams that are relying on switches, OKC. I think the Lakers. I think especially a team like the Clippers. Zubac is going to make that a problem, though. But I think Al Horford is showing he can contend with high level
bigs. In theory going to make that a problem too.
Sure. Well, but here's the thing, though, Mars. My thing with Ayton is really good at that 10 to 15 foot area, really 6 to 15 foot area. The problem with Ayton is, and I think you can agree with this, he doesn't have like a level of scoring aggression. One that I think really punishes you consistently, but also two, Mars. To be fair with you, bro, if it comes down to like Ayton versus Pods. I would much rather Luka give the ball to Ayton on a mismatch. And we know Luka, not a selfish thing, but Luka trusts himself so much, Mars. He has been prone, even Mavericks fans have pointed this out, that if Kyrie was hot, he sometimes will co-opt the offense because he believes so much in the mismatch that he's generated that he wants to take advantage of that. I would much rather Luka look at DeAndre Ayton versus Pods and say, give him the ball. Let's see if he can make it work last 3 minutes of the game as opposed to taking a shot away from Luka. Because for me, that's still good defense. Like, that's the worst option of all the options you could give it to of the four, which is Reeves, Luka, and which is LeBron. So I do think, though, like, Mars, like, I still think there's something about Horford being able to be a high-level IQ rim protector, off-ball defender, switch defender. And I think he's also big. Like, I don't think people realize how big Al Horford is. Like, that dude's he's taller than Ox and thick, and, like, he's like a bigger dude. And so, like, because Ox is tall. I'm saying, Ox, you tall. You tall, man. You 6'8". That's a tall person. And then he's bigger than he is. And then on top of that, bro, you got Dre working with him too, bro. Think about the two-man defensive game, y'all, with Draymond Green and Al Horford, the level of IQ you're going to have. And especially when they go zone or play box, because the Warriors will deploy that at times too, bro. Like, I think that's about to be a lethal front court with him and Jimmy.
How much is Al gonna play, though? Like in the regular
season, I'd say 28 to 32 minutes.
That's fair.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of minutes.
That's a lot of minutes.
He's not going to play. He's not going to play every game. But when he's playing, he's probably going to play 28 to 32 minutes.
Over under more 65 games for Al Horford.
How many played last year?
How many did he just play?
Last season,
60.
Al Horford
He just played 60.
So he plays 60 games.
I'd say
left.
he's in that 58 to 62 range, if I had to guess.
And now remember who we're talking about now, because Bron, I want to make sure that we're clear on what the Western Conference is. I could go from hosting a playoff series to I'm fighting for my playoff life in a week.
Yeah,
That could happen. So I don't really have a lot of wiggle room for error here. So a guy
On
like
paper, still on paper.
Well, here's the thing though, Ox. We saw this last year. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think the 2 and the 2 and the 3 seed. Okay, so the 2 seed from 2 to 6.
6, yeah, I think
separated by 3 games.
4 or 5 games. Yeah,
Separated from 2 to 6 was separated by 3 games. Ox, that's 3 days. That's 4 days of if I screw up, I could go from I'm hosting a playoff series to I'm fighting for my playoff life. I might miss the playoffs. And a guy like Al Horford, who at 39, 40 years old, and I said the same thing because what I'm doing in the chat, they're getting on me about LeBron. Okay, so I'm 100% confident. I've come up here and I've said the same thing about James and how I feel about him aging, and that he's not the same player that he was years ago. And I'll be blown away if they won the NBA championship with this group off the strength of how much they rely on James. I feel the same way when I'm thinking about this Golden State Warrior team, how old they are. Ox, if this was 2 or 3 years ago, the Golden State Warriors in the NBA championship. With this group, 100% they in the NBA championship. I just feel like where we are now, I feel like they're long in the tooth. And I think that every game in the Western Conference counts, specifically from your older guys, because we're going to need Al Horford, right? We're going to need Jimmy Butler. We're going to need Draymond and these guys to be healthy. And if they're not, if I can only get, I think Jimmy Butler gave me 60 games like twice, something like that. Yeah, I think Jimmy Butler gave me 60 games twice in like the last 10 years. Like that's not going to be enough if you're trying to get to the playoffs. Like,
I mean, sure, they did it last year without Al Horford and with Jimmy Butler for a stretch.
true.
So you mean to tell me if I add 60 games to Al Horford and let's just say Jimmy plays 50 games, double what he played last year? Come on, like I'm just saying, when have we ever seen Steph with a competent roster? Not Steph. When have we seen Steve Kerr with a competent roster? Not Kerr. When have we seen Draymond with a competent roster? Not Punch. I'm saying like we have seen
and that's fair,
these
Ron.
three.
That is
Wait,
fair.
chill, but why would
This
they
is
miss
a
the
dynamic
playoffs
trio.
if you get 57 games from their guys? Why would what there to me there was no mathematical equation they missed the playoffs though. They were too good with their players. Like even just if you just like say like they're playing 45 games all together.
Yeah.
On the rate that they won last year, and I think the West was still elite last year, so it's getting better this year. But I think the Warriors are also gotten better.
31 and 14 is.
You said what?
31 and 14 if they played 45
That's
games
very
total.
reasonable. So then outside of that, if you go 50-50, Mars, I mean, you're pushing 48 games, like 47. That's very much within the top 6, top 7 seeds. Chill. So I think
last year Memphis was the 8th seed and they won 48 games.
Right.
And
So you hear what I'm saying? Like,
I understand that part. And again, we're talking about the play-in tournament. I mean, that's where it gets tricky. The Golden State Warriors have not been. I mean, they did, to Mars's point, they did win last year in the play-in tournament, but they have not been successful in the play-in tournament in the past. And when you got when you got one game to play into the playoffs, do I feel if I'm looking at the Trailblazers and I'm looking at the Warriors, yes, on paper it sounds a lot better for the Warriors than it does the Trailblazers. But when we're talking about one game, I mean, I'm having a difficult time just saying the Warriors, especially considering what their history has been in the play-in tournament.
Well, the Warriors lost to the Wolves last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Injuries and all.
Steph Curry and
Of realistic playing teams, chill. Who are you not taking the Warriors against?
All of them.
Realistic.
I mean, it's kind of hard to call a realistic playing team in the West because it's like so chill. All right, one game scenario. Let's just run down the West. Who are you taking the Warriors against? I'm gonna run down every team that's a realistic playoff team. Warriors, OKC.
In
one game.
Yeah.
One game.
I'm taking Steph Curry against everybody. Go ahead, chill. You got to chill because I'm taking Steph against everybody in one game.
One game. That's it. One game.
All right. So Warriors, Rockets.
If the Rockets are in the play-in next season, that's a dysfunctional team. I'm gonna just say that
they're gonna be a playing team.
I seen you say they're gonna miss the playoffs. I seen you say that.
I can see it
I'm
happening.
gonna
No
take the.
Freddie.
I'm gonna take the Rockets.
All right. After you just said that the Warriors have a shaky offense, but all right.
Yes, they do. But the Rockets, they did just add 25 a game to their roster. Like you just said, they added Al Horford and better defensive IQ. Well, the Houston Rockets just added 25 a game to their offense. It's going to make their
What did they
offense-
lose though? What did Jalen Green average and what did Dylan Brooks
20,
average? And what did Fred VanVleet average?
Jalen Green averaged 21. So
Okay,
they really
what
only
did
added
Dylan-
4 points. They added.
But wait,
four
what
Okay,
did
so-
Dylan
so-
average? No.
Okay,
What did
so
Dylan
like
average?
12,
I think-
like 12,
And what did Fred VanVleet average?
like 14.
Okay, so
So they lost. What's that? 26 plus 21. They lost 47 and gained 25. So they're actually 22 points worse.
Feel me?
on paper, yes, they
Yeah.
are.
So the
Okay.
Rockets are actually going to average like 85 points.
And they lost Hakeem Olajuwon level defense and Dylan Brooks, who one of the biggest pests in the leagues. But all right,
Yes.
we're gonna move on to the next team. Chill.
Yep.
The Warriors or the Lakers?
In one game, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm taking the Lakers. Yes.
Warriors or the Nuggets?
I'm gonna take
I
Denver.
got to think about this one, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Denver.
Okay. Warriors or the Clippers?
I'm taking the Warriors. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I know them.
I'm sorry. I'm
So the
taking the
Clippers
Warriors.
are-
You think
Warriors
the
are
Rockets
missing
are
the
better
playoffs?
than the Clippers?
The Clippers and the Warriors are missing the playoffs, in your opinion?
I think that
Ron-
the Clippers could. I think that the Clippers are going to be better than the Warriors in the regular season.
They're old too.
And they are old too, yeah. But I feel like from a talent standpoint, they got a little bit more, and I think that they can sustain it a little bit more than the Warriors can. I can appreciate who Steph Curry is. I can appreciate what Jimmy Butler has brought to their offense, but I'm gonna go with the Clippers.
Are the Rockets better than the Clippers today? Right now?
Yes, they are.
If they played
Okay.
if both teams played a series,
Well,
That'd be a
Houston
fun
versus
series.
Clippers.
yeah, I might take the
The
Clippers.
Clippers in
That
five.
would really be a fun series.
You got the
about to-
Clippers serving Houston?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe
What?
I
But the
just
Clippers-
think
the-
Fred is more important
chill.
to that team
The
than other
Clippers-
Me
to
too.
be
Me
fair,
too, Mars.
people. Like,
They-
I don't
People been
think
acting
the
funny about the
Rockets
Clippers because it's the Clippers and Corey Maggette and them didn't win in the 2000s, so therefore they're going to be trash always. And they got beat up 3-1 versus Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard dropped the ball in this Game 7 this year. Dropped the ball in Game 7 in 2020.
James
Harden.
He sucked. Didn't show up. No, Kawhi Leonard was worse. Mars, ignore it. He can protect Kawhi Leonard, by the way. Mars, the fourth episode from Pablo Torres finds out dropped today, by the way. $48 million. 48, by the way, but we'll get to that in a minute. Chill.
Yes, sir.
You need to get on board with the Clippers, dog. I told
No, I
you.
don't. I was
Go
already
with-
on a train last year and it
No,
crashed. I died.
chill. They are. If
If you
you
get
look
on
at
the
the
train this year, blame Swiper because I'm
it-
on.
I'm not
yeah,
getting
true.
on it. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm
Their
not.
their roster.
I'm the
is
conductor
loaded.
of this train.
Their roster is
No way.
loaded, chill. And on top of that, Harden had an All NBA season last year. I don't care what none of you casuals say. Zubac had an All NBA season
He
last
made
year. I don't
the
care what none of
All-NBA
you
team
casuals
last year.
say. Kawhi Leonard
made
played
the All-Pro
68
team last
games 2 years ago, and then he played 36 last year. Whatever. Now they got Bradley Beal and John Collins and Brooke Lopez and Chris Paul, who I told Mars was going to be better than Fred VanVleet for 2 months, and he was. I still ain't got my money. And on top of that, they're adding
We
like
ain't
a
putting
lot
no
of.
money on that.
No. Chris Dunn is back. Best guard defender in the league last year, but didn't play 65 or enough games or 20 more minutes. I said this last year, Mark. This is not new news. This is not new
He
news.
still ain't better than Cruz.
You put all this stuff together. Hey, Ox. I'm
You
talking
ain't even
about
bring up Nicholas Batum. You ain't bring up
Coca-Cola. Hey, Coca-Cola shape. This should be absolutely 100% one of the 4 best teams. I think they're better than Cleveland. I think they're better than every team in the league except for
What
the
are we
Nuggets,
doing?
Thunder, and this Rockets team. I don't know, but the Wolves.
The Rockets are done, Swiper. The Rockets are done.
But the Wolves, they should be top 3 or 4. I'll tell you that much on your list of teams this summer.
I got Minnesota at 6. No, that's not true. I got them
6.
outside, too. I got Dallas at 4.
Hey, but-
Without Kyrie,
Yes, without
Hey,
Kyrie.
hey, chill.
they got worse guard play than the Rockets.
Chill and Swiper.
Do they?
But before we go any further with this, Chill, I want to bring it back because I was halfway through the teams that I wanted to ask you, so I got about 4 more teams. Also,
was up
Swiper, that was a good question, Swiper. Probably in about an hour, I want to ask you guys, and this will give you guys some time to think. Who are really your top 4 teams in the West? Like that you wouldn't be surprised if they made it to the finals.
Easy. Easy.
Obviously, like you guys may say, you only.
Wouldn't be surprised, but yeah.
All right, and then the other two teams where if they made it, you would be like, I could see an avenue. But top 4 teams that you could see an avenue to making it to the finals. But before we get there, chill. The
Sir.
next team I got for you is the Warriors versus the Wolves. 1 game.
Curry. Yes. I'll take yes. It's just he's so goddamn dangerous. I think Anthony Edwards is better than him. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I think today Anthony Edwards is better than him. I think he's a better player than Curry. But Curry in a 1-game scenario, he's just so damn dangerous that it's so difficult to just say, yo, they're better. But if I look at that Minnesota team and I look at what they have from a defensive standpoint, I think that they're better. I think their rotation is just as good. I think that Naz Reid gives them something that the Golden State Warriors don't have. I think he gives Draymond hell. And I think Julius Randle gives Draymond hell, like he said. In addition to that, I think the emergence of Shannon this season, and I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with Dillingham. I think that this team, with Rudy Gobert cleaning glass like he does, I think that they're better in a 7-game series because I think that they'll outlast Golden State. But 1 game, it's that damn Curry. That's why I can't just outright pick them. It's that damn Curry, Ox. It's the chef, man. It's the chef. It's that damn Curry. Yeah, it is.
All right. I got
Curry.
2 more teams for you.
Yes, sir.
The Dallas Mavericks. Fully healthy. Both fully healthy. Kyrie's back. AD's healthy. Dallas?
Yes, Dallas.
Oh,
I got
okay.
Dallas. I got Dallas as one of those. To answer your question about later on today, we'll talk about that later on, but I'll take Dallas right now. Yes, sir.
All right. And then last but not least, the San Antonio Spurs.
The Warriors, yes.
Got the
So we
Warriors.
just disrespecting the Kings and the Blazers and the Suns and the Pelicans.
Chill. So if any of those teams, we'll just all loop them into one group. Actually, take all the starters from the team and put them together, make a super team. Do you
I
have
just
any?
think
That's a squad. You do that. Zion.
Mark, can you imagine putting Zion and Wemby and Curry and who else?
Well,
Let's see.
the Spurs aren't in that group.
Nah, you got Devin Booker with Zion, with Zach
Wemby.
LaVine.
Triple J.
No, not Triple J.
All right.
With Denny.
Make the team. Huh?
Denny can be.
Yes.
Laurie Markkinen,
Jalen Green for sure starting. You know what I'm saying?
DeMontis
Not
and
bad.
Filipowski.
Not bad at all.
That's the squad.
Mm.
Got to get Filipowski on the team.
Yes.
All right,
So,
fellas.
I think that to answer your question, Ron, I just feel like those teams, they're not going to have to worry about the top half. I don't think they're going to have to worry about the Warriors. So that's why I'm picking the Warriors in a 1 game over them.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.